veterans such as Gainey and all of those rookies led by the rookie coach, Jean Perron. Speaking of defense, Guy Carbonneau is standing by with Dick Irvin.
This is not the shower. This is the first interview we've got, and the shower is on. You all right, Carbo?
Yeah, I'm all right. Feeling great right now.
I know we can't see, but what the heck. Congratulations, Guy.
Thank you.
This was a year you weren't supposed to win the cup. It's just been a tremendous build-up for you over the last 6 weeks.
Well, we had a tough time at the end of the season, but I think we had some players back before the playoff, and I think Patrick, when his time was there, and everybody played really well. When you're low, when you give under 2 goals a game and over 20 games, I think the team is playing super.
Right from the very beginning, you weren't expected to do this, but was the feeling building in the club? When did you think you could win it?
Well, I don't know. After we beat Hartford, we were playing really well, and we knew when Edmonton was out, Philadelphia and Washington, we had our chance, and what we tried to do is just playing our kind of game, and that's what we did. And that's why we're here winning now.
Guy, thank you very much. Congratulations. Great job.
When the Calgary Flames were in the heat of battle against the Edmonton Oilers, it was suggested that to beat the Oilers might be as good for the Flames as to win the Stanley Cup. Maybe at that time it felt that way. Probably now it doesn't. Let's go to John Davidson at the Calgary dressing room with Coach Bob Johnson.
Coach, I guess dreams do die hard, do they?
Well, I just told the players in there, you know, we just did a great job of entertaining hockey fans in North America for the last 6 weeks. We played 22 playoff games, and it was a great experience for our younger players and a great rewarding experience for the older players. The younger players are so much better hockey players. We're playing these 22 games, and we battled them all the way, you know, and there's not a lot of difference between winning and losing. 3-2 in overtime, 1-0, 4-3, and a bounce here and a bounce there, and I'm extremely proud of everybody associated with our organization. I'm extremely proud of our hockey players, and they played with unbelievable heart.
During the finals, you had to put a lot of new faces into the lineup. Can you right now say that injuries and fatigue were a major part of the Calgary Flames not winning?
Well, we milked the cow dry, let's put it that way, and we took everything out of it, and you know, but you threw a lot of young kids in there, and they certainly played well. Brian Bradley did a great job for us tonight, and he gained that a tremendous playoff experience. The older guys, they played 22 games for us, and every other night, and they were there all the time. They were right there at the end, too.
Coach, congratulations on a super year, and as you say, there's not much difference between winning and losing. See you next year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Dick Irvin.
Things are not any drier in the Montreal Canadiens dressing room. Bobby, the first time I interviewed you, you were the #1 draft choice with Minnesota. You got to the finals in '81 with the North Stars. This is the feeling, is it?
This is it. I was getting to think at this point in my career that I'd never get to be in the dressing room after a final game celebrating and having the Stanley Cup as company, but here we are, and the feeling is too good to explain.
Bobby, a blend of veterans and kids. You're a veteran. Did you think with all of these kids you could really make it happen in the playoffs the way it worked out?
You know, you don't really think about the Stanley Cup. We never let ourselves think about the Stanley Cup till after the game was over, and you've got so many tough games to win and tough series to win that you don't really give yourself a chance to think about it till right now, but it's been worth the wait.
The feeling in those last couple of minutes, they made it close.
Very nervous, and I was glad to see that puck cleared for the final time.
Okay, Bobby, congratulations on your first Stanley Cup win. A great series against Calgary. Thank you. Where we got? The team captain and I have been here before. For Bob Gainey, this is Stanley Cup #5. And Robert, you were, I guess, expected to win the previous 4. This is the one you weren't expected to win. Any different feeling for you?
Well, it was sure an up-and-down season and series. And right to the last minute of the game, we were never sure of the win. It's exciting, and you can tell by the atmosphere in here that the guys, they still haven't grabbed a hold of what's really happened, and it'll take them a couple days.
I think the amazing thing is there's so many of these kids who just haven't been here before. What was the feeling going into this game because they were 60 minutes away? It was a little different.
I think we were scared as hell, Dick. We didn't play one of our better games, and our guys were we were so scared that it's hard to explain, and we're happy that we don't have to go against Calgary. I'd like to congratulate the Calgary team because we're very similar in a lot of ways, and they give us everything we wanted and more. I knew there would be a disappointed team after this series, and we don't take any joy from their disappointment.
Bob, I'm sure I'll see you again come October.
You will, Dick.
All right, thanks very much. Bob Gainey, team captain of the Montreal Canadiens, his 5th Stanley Cup. Here again, Dave Hodge.
The last Montreal goaltender, the only other Montreal goaltender to win the Conn Smythe Trophy, was Ken Dryden in 1971. He was a rookie, and here's another rookie to accept the Conn Smythe Trophy from NHL President John Ziegler. John?
Patrick, great championship, great series, a great team. and you were the best in the 1986 playoffs. Congratulations on winning this year's Conn Smythe Trophy.
Thank you
well
very
earned.
much, sir. Thank you very much.
What's your reaction, Patrick?
You know, for me, the best feeling is win the Stanley Cup. That trophy, sorry, it's a bonus for me because I think we could put all the name of my teammates in the hat, and you pick a name, and it's a good choice. You know, you have to make a choice, and I'm really happy. But you know, for me, it's the Stanley Cup, and that trophy, it's my teammates' win for me.
The name that goes on the Conn Smythe Trophy is of 20-year-old Patrick Roy. Our Stanley Cup coverage continues in a moment.
Nous sommes très heureux d'être une part de l'équipe qui a gagné la Coupe Stanley.
Lorsqu'on parle de travail, ben celui qui s'amène ici.
Tout le monde a bien travaillé.
Claude Lemieux, oui. Quand on parle de travail, je comprends donc. Claude, merci Babé, merci beaucoup. Claude, félicitations. 4 buts victorieux. C'est une fin de saison presque incroyable pour toi.
Ça a été fantastique de me joindre ici à l'équipe pour les séries éliminatoires. Puis, de la façon que ça a été fantastique. J'ai eu des buts en surtemps, j'ai eu des buts gagnants. Alors, j'ai fait tout mon possible pour aider l'équipe. Puis, je suis vraiment le gars le plus heureux du monde ce soir.
Il y a longtemps que j'ai vu un gars s'impliquer autant que toi au cours des séries éliminatoires.
Je te remercie. Je pense que c'est la façon que je dois jouer. Puis, je travaille très, très fort. Et c'est pour ça que je pense qu'on a réussi. Et en passant, j'en profite pour tout saluer la population de ma ville natale, Mont-Laurier. Ils m'ont toujours encouragé très, très fort. Je veux saluer toute ma famille puis mes parents aussi qui ne m'ont jamais lâché. Et aussi ma belle famille. Merci beaucoup tout le monde.
Claude, merci. Bravo encore une fois. Et en voici un qui est très fier, bien sûr, Ronald Coré, que lorsqu'on parle de travail chez le Canadien, ben, c'est à l'image de son président. Je me souviens très bien lors de tes premières conférences de presse, Ronald, où tu soulignais ce qui importe chez nous, c'est le travail. Ça part du deuxième jusqu'en bas.
C'est exact. Je suis très content. C'est absolument incroyable ce qui nous arrive. Et je suis content d'avoir pour tous les joueurs parce qu'on a eu une saison qui a été une très bonne saison, mais on a eu un moment très difficile en mars. Et tout le monde s'est regroupé. On a travaillé en équipe. Et ce qui arrive 6 semaines plus tard, mais c'est quasiment un rêve. Maintenant, il faut féliciter aussi tous les gens qui m'entourent au Forum, tous les gens de hockey. L'équipe qu'on a aujourd'hui, il y a beaucoup de jeunes qui sont arrivés dans le temps de Serge Chavard et de Jean Perron, Lapierrière, Lemaire et tous les autres. Mais il faut aussi penser à des vétérans qui sont là et qui étaient là avec Irving Brownman et Ronald Caron. Puis je veux les remercier tous les deux aussi pour ce qu'ils ont fait. Cette équipe, c'est un peu le prolongement. Et je suis content pour tous les partisans à travers tout le Québec et tout le Canada. Et évidemment, c'est la plus belle journée pour moi. C'est extraordinaire. Puis je suis content pour tout le monde. Et ce qui est intéressant... ce qui est intéressant, c'est de voir tous les jeunes joueurs qu'on a. Et je suis persuadé qu'on a une très bonne équipe pour plusieurs années à venir.
Came through with a big effort, and I was happy to see us get that win.
Ryan, it's a long way from the first I interviewed you when you were a top draft choice with Washington. You struggled through those years. This makes it all worthwhile, I'm sure.
It does, Dick. I have to thank the Lord. I have to do that. And I have to thank our wives. You know, they've been sitting at home for almost 2 months now for some of these guys, sitting there, nothing to do, but sort of nervous, and I just really thank them a lot.
With the broken ankle, you missed all of the playoffs of this series. I guess you kind of thought your season was over. It's great to make it back.
Fantastic. I didn't know what I could do to help, but I was going to do anything I could.
Rick, he helped a lot coming in. It gave him the fresh legs. Defense won it, Rick. That was the plan, obviously.
Well, it's been our key to success, I think, all along, Dick, and we've played very, very solid defensively, and when we can hold our game to 1 or 2 goals against, we're going to get our goals for. And guys showed it all through the playoffs, and that's what got us the cup.
Just finally, Ryan, you two fellas have been teammates all through pro. Have you ever seen this guy play better hockey?
He's played the series of his life. He's played the best games I've ever seen him play, and he's played them for I don't know, for about 2 months now. So he's my hero.
And you and I kid a lot about your goal scoring. We had another one to add to our collection. Rick, congratulations, both fellas.
Thanks very much, Dick.
Rick Green and Ryan Waller. Here is Mats Naslund. Mats, let me ask you this. When you're in Sweden, is there anything to compare with this? I suppose only the World Championship.
Yeah, you're right. It's only the World Championship, but I guess this is covered by more journalists and people get more excited over here.
What about the coverage? Is there anybody from Sweden over here at this time, or are they getting the word back home?
Yeah, there's about 6-7 guys, and I'm just going to go on Swedish TV right after this, and it's pretty much covered in Sweden, too.
I don't know if you were keeping count, Mats, but tonight was your 100th game. You did not miss a game. You did not miss a shift all year. Is it safe to ask you, are you tired, or do you feel it now?
Well, I think we all deserve a good vacation. We're going to have a a couple of weeks off before we're trying to get a shape again and ready for next season.
That's one final question. You're a pretty good analyst of what goes on out there. Could you feel this sort of thing building, coming over the last month or so?
Not really. I think when we beat Hart, we look forward to New York. We know we had a chance against them, and when the series went long against St. Louis and Calgary, we know that was to our benefit. So we was pretty confident when this series starts. We know we was in better shape, and they said they wasn't tired, but that's saying too much, I guess.
Well, Mats, I tell you, a 100-point season, a record for assists left wingers. Congratulations. Take a rest. You deserve it.
Thank you very much.
I've just been told by Floyd Curry of the Canadians the team might be getting home a little before 6:30 in the morning, so you'd better check back at the Dorval Airport. Back to the studio. Here again is Dave Hodge.
With the official announcement of the 3 stars of this game, the clinching game, Rick Green, Claude Lemieux, and Jamie McCowan. Well, when I think, fellas, of the 1986 Stanley Cup playoffs and Montreal's victory, the one thing that'll remain in my mind is the look on Brian Skrudland's face after he scored 9 seconds into overtime. Obviously the goal that turned this series in Montreal's direction.
I think it did, too. It was a big goal because Calgary almost stole a game on behalf of Mike Vernon's goaltending, but you look at that Montreal organization and you see the players that played well for them in the playoffs. Lemieux had been in a Memorial Cup. Guys like Skrudland had won a Calder Cup in the American Hockey League. I think they're
and
just...
Patrick Waugh, too.
Patrick Waugh was there, too. And these are players that are being groomed the proper way. And then the leaders, quality leaders, I think Calgary had quality leaders, too, in Poplinski, McDonald, et cetera, Dougie Riseborough, how can you forget him? But Montreal are building an organization right now, very strong.
Well, again, that says for sending them down to the minors and learn how to play hockey instead of bringing guys in 18 years old and throwing them to the wolves. I believe in that, too. Send them down to the minors, learn how to play.
With all the talk of the players who were injured and the players who appeared in their first NHL game in the Stanley Cup final for Calgary and all of the rookies from Montreal, one can never forget how important depth is in winning this Stanley Cup championship, and the Canadians proved it best. Live on CBC, this is Hockey Night in Canada.
Mike Lutter. That's right. I told Brian the other night he's got his name in the record book for a long time, probably 9 seconds. Brian, now the name's on the Stanley Cup. That's a little better.
Oh, well, you know, it's just a thrill. We worked hard for this, and like he said, you couldn't be with better guys. You know, it's just great to...
All right, you two were this close to your first Stanley Cup before this game started. How'd you feel all day today?
A little nervous. Couldn't sleep.
Same thing?
Oh, same thing. I want to say hi to my parents, my family, my friends back in Saskatoon. Mike wants to say hi to everybody back on Fort Erie.
Mom, Dad, everybody, here I am!
Yeah! Well, they're here for the first time. Congratulations, guys. This fella's here for the 6th time. Larry, 6. I can remember in '73 in the Chicago Stadium when you got your first one. I don't think you and I figured you'd be in '86 that either one of us would still be around for number 6. Congratulations, Bert. How's it feel?
Well, great. I think this one holds as much as as the first one. You know, it's been 7 long years since we went to a Stanley Cup before, and we went through a lot of funny situations this year. And, we had injuries, and we had different guys coming up and picking up the slack, and it's been a real Cinderella story all year, and we've really had to work very, very hard. Just goes straight in. Nothing comes easy.
The cards have fallen just right for you in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Yourself, you didn't miss much in the way of hockey this year. Everybody talked about the so-called comeback of Larry Robinson. A lot of people said he'd never been away. This has to be a very satisfying season for you, Larry, all around.
Well, no season's satisfying unless you have that big cup standing beside you, and this is certainly the icing on the cake.
I would have to think that as it rolled along, the feeling within the ranks sort of started to build positively, and the kids must have had a lot to do with it because they hadn't been here before. Maybe they didn't know enough to be nervous.
No, everybody was nervous, but you know what helped is that the kids that we had playing here, the so-called rookies, were involved in a real battle last year down in Sherbrooke in the Calder Cup. And I know I was there in the Calder Cup my first year, and I know the emotion that it takes and what it took. And I think it matured a lot of them much more than a lot of people think it did, and it really helped them in our series going to the Stanley Cup this year.
Well, having a Larry Robinson around with them helped them too. Larry, congratulations. Thanks, just another super year, right? Thank you very much.